Do you think that walking every day is a guaranteed ticket to avoid aging? The truth is millions of older adults in America are falling into that sweet trap without even knowing it. Walking regularly seems to keep you healthier, but in reality, it might be quietly bringing you closer to your greatest fear, losing your freedom, losing control over your own life. If even the habits you trust the most could make you weaker, what can you still believe in? Don't rush to turn off this video, because right after this, I'll reveal a secret that almost nobody tells you, a secret that will decide whether you age proactively or passively. Are you ready to face the truth? Welcome to Senior Health and Life, where every moment you listen is one step closer to a more active, healthier, and longer-lasting life than you ever thought possible. Here, we don't just share advice, but together we open each secret door to health, flexibility, and the spirit of Americans over 60. I promise today you'll go on a journey that challenges all the old beliefs about aging, and very likely you'll be the one to inspire change in those around you, just by making one small decision, starting with yourself. If you find value here, please hit subscribe so Senior Health and Life has more motivation to create more meaningful, practical, and inspiring videos for the American senior community. Become a part of our proactive journey, because you deserve the very best. And before we move into the next secrets, I want to ask you one question. Please answer honestly in the comments. If you had to choose, what do you think causes older adults to lose their freedom the fastest? A, illness. B, loss of muscle strength, no longer able to stand up on your own or do small things each day. Pick A or B and leave your answer in the comments. I'll help you discover the real answer in the next part of this journey. There's a truth that many people only realize when they reach the far side of life's slope. Not everyone ages the same way. Some keep walking lightly down the same old road, confident like when they were young, while others quietly face trembling, sinking moments as they realize their bodies are changing each day. But what's important is almost everyone believes that as long as they walk every morning, all worries about aging will simply disappear. That's the protective shell millions of older Americans put on, like a suit of armor that seems solid, but is actually quite fragile. Walking makes us feel active, gets our blood flowing, relaxes our minds. But have you ever stopped and really listened to your body? Have you ever noticed your steps becoming heavier, less flexible than they used to be, even though you keep faithfully counting every lap around the park each day? How many times have you tried to convince yourself, maybe it's just the weather, I'll feel better tomorrow, only to find that the weakness, the loss of balance, or just the struggle to get up from a chair repeats itself the next morning like a whisper, reminding you of subtle changes inside? People aren't really afraid of getting old. What they fear most is losing control. It's the fear that you can no longer carry a chair, open a jar on your own, or simply stand up or sit down without someone's help. Many people think that as long as they can still walk, still get out of the house, everything is fine. But the truth is, the human body is like an old house. If you only care for the facade and don't pay attention to the pillars and bricks inside, that house can collapse at any moment without warning. I once met Mrs. Sylvia, a resilient woman who walked around her neighborhood every day. She said walking made her feel young, still in control of her life. But after one slip on the porch, she realized that aging isn't measured by the number of steps you take, but by the endurance, strength, and balance of both your body and your mind. After that fall, she started paying attention to every small signal, hands trembling while carrying a pot of water, legs not as steady on a flat floor, and the worried eyes of her family when they saw her staggering. There are things you only realize are precious after they're gone. Independence, pride in a strong body, the feeling of safety that comes from being able to handle all the little things at home by yourself. Instead of just focusing on your daily step count, it's time for older adults to carefully observe every small change in themselves. Because real health isn't about how far you can walk, but whether you can stand steady, control each movement, and not have to depend on anyone. Be honest with yourself, because that's the greatest gift you can give your own aging journey. Have you ever wondered what truly helps a senior not just live longer, but live deeper, where every moment is filled with a sense of independence, confidence, and inner peace? No one wants to wake up one day and find themselves slowly becoming an outsider in their own home and life just because of the limits of their body. But no one wants to hear another lecture on health either. I won't bore you with old theories. I want to invite you to join me to reach deep into the core of owning your age through 5 keys proven by science and the real-life experiences of millions of Americans. The first key is muscle strength, something many people think is only for the young. Did you know that every muscle fiber in your body is like a reserve fund for your freedom? Lose that strength and you lose the independence you treasure most. That's why so many people think gentle movement is enough. But actually, simple movements like wall push-ups, standing up and sitting down without using your hands, or lifting small items are insurance policies for your future. Maybe you don't care about having a muscular body, but what you need is to still be able to open a jar of jam for your grandchild, carry a basket out to the garden tomorrow, still feel useful and confident. The second key is balance, not just the ability to stand firmly on your own 2 feet, but also the balance of your mind. Try closing your eyes, stand on 1 foot, and count slowly to 10. If you feel yourself swaying, that's not just a physical issue, it's a wake-up call. Stability is the foundation of freedom. Many older adults in America, after just a small fall, have spent a long time losing confidence in themselves. But I've seen plenty of people regain that confidence they thought was lost forever, just by doing simple exercises, standing on 1 foot next to a chair, walking along the edge of a rug, or even practicing balance while brushing their teeth. The third key is flexibility, something that's often forgotten. Do you remember what it feels like to turn around and reach for a book on a high shelf, or bend down to pick up a towel without grimacing? That flexibility is really a sign of true youth within an aging body. No one expects you to become an athlete, but anyone can do a simple stretch each day, reaching overhead, turning your neck, gently shaking out your hands. That's how you hold on to life's smallest joys. The feeling that you're still part of the world, not just watching it pass by. The fourth key, and I truly believe this is the quiet foundation for lasting youth, is core strength and posture. What if you spent a few minutes every day standing tall with your head, shoulders, and back resting against the wall, feeling each breath slowly rise from your belly to your chest. That strength won't just protect you from back pain or a stooped posture, it will give you a proud, confident stance, just like your ageless spirit inside. Finally, the fifth key is choosing movement that's gentle on your joints. Don't assume walking is absolutely safe. In reality, exercises in the pool, gentle cycling chair, yoga, or even just creative movement around the house are all ways your joints can be nourished without wearing down over time. Listen to every small sound, every feeling after each move, because you know your own body better than anyone. Owning your age isn't about fighting against time, but about holding on to what matters most: strength, balance, flexibility, proud posture, and making smart choices for each movement every day. If you start paying attention to even the little things every day that goes by, will truly be a day you live for yourself, not just surviving, but living deeply, beautifully, and inspiring everyone who's watching you. Maybe no one thinks that changing a life's course begins with a small decision on an ordinary day. But you know it's those gentle steps, those simple choices: waking up 10 minutes earlier, trying a new move yourself, or just quietly observing yourself in the mirror each morning, that can plant seeds for a second spring in your life. Each day, your body and mind are quietly sending out signals, inviting you to try to change, to renew. The only problem is we get so used to putting things off or telling ourselves, it's no different. Is it too late to change now? But really, no one gets to the finish line by just dreaming or making big plans. Youthfulness, being proactive, and the joy of living are woven out of regular days, the repeated small moves, and those moments when you dare to step outside your old habits. That's when you choose to stand up from a chair on your own. That's when you decide to take a new walking route, add in a balance exercise, a stretch, or simply change the way you breathe. That's when you learn to listen to every movement, every signal from your body, not just to get through the day, but to live more deeply, more freely, and more joyfully with every moment. The story of change isn't some miracle tale you see on TV or read about celebrities. It's the real close story of everyday people who once thought they couldn't, but then decided to try to believe and to stick with it every day. I once watched Mrs. Ava, a petite, shy woman who spent years just circling the same four walls, win back each yard of sidewalk, each stair, simply by starting with simple exercises on an old wooden chair. Maybe you won't see change after a week, maybe not even after a month, but each cell, each muscle fiber, each heartbeat is quietly rewriting the story of your aging. The magic of starting is that it doesn't require you to have strength, extraordinary willpower, or perfect preparation. It just needs you to say, I'll try today, to give yourself a chance to be just a little different than yesterday. If you've read this far, I believe there's a new desire in you. The desire to live independently, to take charge, to live deeper and more meaningfully. You don't have to compare yourself to anyone. Your journey is unique, and every step forward, no matter how small, is meaningful. Each day is a new chapter with you as the writer of your own script. Maybe today you only manage one exercise, tomorrow one more minute of balance, next week you try a new stretch. But it's the repetition, the perseverance, and the faith in yourself that will create miracles. Age is just a number. You have the right to choose a new spring, a new path. even if it starts from the smallest things. If you're still unsure, just try starting one set of small goal. Write it down, tell your loved ones, or leave it right below in the comments. Let this whole community cheer you on, walk alongside you, and witness your transformation. Because every one of us deserves to live an empowered, free, and happy old age, not with giant leaps, but with the simple, courageous choices we make every day. Life may never stop being mysterious for those who listen and dare to change, even when age shows in our eyes, our hands, or our walk. But one thing I firmly believe, being proactive, never giving up, and the desire to live deeply have never been privileges of the young. They belong to anyone who asks themselves each day, what can I do to make tomorrow different, better, more free than today? If you've stayed with me to these last lines, I want to send you a heartfelt message. Don't let age set the boundaries of your joy, your independence, or your dignity. Remember, you are not alone on this journey to conquer aging. There are countless hearts out there beating in time with yours, longing to live free, not just to exist, but to shine in every circumstance. Life may sometimes be harsh, sometimes make you want to give up, but in those moments, look back at yourself, the person who has overcome so many fears, who has gotten back up from losses that seemed impossible. Ask yourself, is there really any limit that can bind your spirit and will step forward bravely, even if it's just a tiny step? But let it be yours for you. I hope you'll keep following, sharing, leaving your stories, your experiences, or just a message in the comments below. That's not only encouragement for you, but an invaluable gift of inspiration for many others of your generation. Every day you live fully is a statement to the world. At any age, you can take charge of your health, your happiness, and keep writing the most beautiful chapters of your life. If you found any meaning, hope, or even a small spark of motivation in these words, don't hesitate to subscribe to Senior Health and Life. Every subscription from you is a huge encouragement for us to continue creating more thoughtful, practical, and inspiring content for the American senior community. Let's build a space to connect, share, and grow stronger together every day. Remember, the journey to healthy living starts with your decision today